we get into the politics of it, let me ask Sharad Kohli. The kind of promises the Congress is making about wealth redistribution, the hints at an inheritance law, both combined, financially, in layman's terms, break it down for us. Is this even viable for a country like India?
Thank you, Poonam, and good evening to all the viewers of CNN News 18. I think it's a completely outdated concept. Inheritance tax was done away in India in 1984 when it used to be there. I remember VP Singh was the finance minister and Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was the prime minister. It was done away. It used to be there in India because it's an outdated concept, simply. And if we compare it to America, American society is radically different from our society. The family values in our society are far stronger. There are parents, there are children, there are grandparents. You pass on your wealth to your children and your children inherit and so on. So whereas in America, you have live-in relationships, the family system is very, very less prevalent. So for there to say, and more importantly, a fact came out just now that most of the America does not have this kind of, I don't know from where Mr. Pitroda came out with this facts, because 2 or 3 states have it. At the federal level, there is no inheritance tax. So I think Mr. Pitroda also needs to get its facts correct. So it's a completely outdated concept. It cannot work in India. This will lead to, outflow of all the wealth creators in India. Imagine if this comes up and you're not able to pass on your, here parents work hard for their children all their life. In fact, if you speak to parents, they will say we are only working for our children. And the best way to fill up this gap of inequality or whatever redistribution that Congress has been harping about, I don't know, it's a ridiculously, I would say, catastrophic move if that was to come true. Thankfully, all the surveys do not indicate Congress coming back. Otherwise, it would have been catastrophic, because you will find outflow of the entire capital from the country. You will find all the people who create capital, who generate employment. They will move out of the country because they know their wealth is either not safe, and whatever is safe will be probably be taxed by inheritance tax being brought in. So I think this will be a double whammy on the wealth creators in India. So I don't think this particular idea is anyway going to be. This was discussed way back. I remember some of the BJP people also discussed long ago, but it was just a brainstorming being done. There was nothing concrete, which is why we don't have it in our country.
Sure, and this is also brainstorming. That's what the Congress says. That Sam Pitroda's comments were his personal opinion.
No.
He was talking about what happens in America, because that's where he's based from. He never once hinted that this country should bring in a law. That's the Congress's official stance.
No, the difference between that brainstorming, Poonam, and this brainstorming is that this is an extended comment of a top leader of Congress party, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who on record has said that we will redistribute the wealth. This is another way of redistributing the wealth. You don't let somebody inherit, collect 45% and just distribute to people. So this is not brainstorming. This is an extension of a top leader of a Congress stating on record that yes, we are believing in redistribution and we will bring in redistribution. So Mr. Pitroda just extended that. He was resonating the same concept in a different way. I think Congress is losing its way. As an economist, I would say, Poonam, it is losing its way, because instead of talking of wealth creation, instead of talking of policies which lead to wealth creation, you are talking of either redistribution or you are talking of taxing it. I don't think there is any constructive background in the whole statement. I think people of the country must know that you should give constructive remarks which lead to development and wealth creation, not about taking away wealth and acting as a bad Robin Hood, Poonam.
Sure. Mathew Antony, the Congress may have come out and distanced itself from what Sam Pitroda said. They have also said that this is not something that the Congress intends to bring in. But this is seen as an extension of what the Congress promised in its manifesto as far as wealth redistribution is concerned. So could the timing just have been bad? Is that why the Congress today seems to be on a back foot?
Poonam, thank you for taking me in the show, as well as to all the viewers. What I can say is that Sam Pitroda has made a personal statement. We have nothing to do with that as a party, because the party manifesto is very clear. Now, let me answer the previous economist who said, that how Congress created the wealth. Let us know that who created and opened up the BFSI sector, who created and opened up the ITA sector, who created and opened up the telecom sector, which are the largest employers in this country right now. So who created the billionaires in this country at that point of time when we were in the rule? And now the wealth distribution, which our leader Rahul Gandhi is speaking about, is the 16 lakhs of written off loans from the bank, as well as the inequality in the income, where 21 billionaires in this country holds more than 70% of country's wealth. or the countries, other people as well. So we are talking about a socialist philosophy in our politics, and it is very clearly told in the manifesto. We have never talked, and our history of ruling this country, has it ever taken away the money from the billionaires or from the rich people and given it to the poor? So what history, so Prime Minister Modi is completely in a situation where he fears loss, he scares loss, and he's trying to deviate the topic from our manifesto, which addresses the unemployment, which addresses the price rise. I need to ask the question here that there was a promise of 15 lakhs made by the Prime Minister. Nobody wants to answer. Everybody laughs at it. But it was a political promise made by the Prime Minister 10 years back. Has any single rupee has come to anyone's account? The Prime Minister is blatantly lying and is a habitual liar. He just doesn't want to touch the topics. He just doesn't want to touch the topic of unemployment. Has he not addressed it? Till now, has he addressed it? He just firstly got corrupted in the electoral bond scheme. He just got corrupted in the PM's cares fund. He has not addressed it. So he is just running away from it, whereas
the electoral bonds issue has been addressed by the Prime Minister, and let me put it this way, all parties are either guilty or innocent when it comes to electoral bonds, but let's not